can go back and reference anything that like I might go through too fast. But remember that the main thing that you should be working on this week is the 2 assignments for Canvas and also your midterm, right? Your midterm is due next week. So 50 minutes, I'm 50, sorry, 50. So, sorry, that made me laugh. But the main thing is preparing that midterm for next week, right? The 2 assignments that are due this week, the other 2 assignments help you prepare for the midterm, right? So I do recommend that you do those in order, that you do the 2 Canvas assignments for the week first, and that then you start preparing the midterm, right? But you can't leave this for the last minute. And I'm going to encourage as many people as possible to like actually present on Monday, get it out of the way, especially if you're nervous, if you're anxious. The best strategy to me is to get it out of the way. Because if you start watching everybody go, you start getting a little bit too much in your head. But let me share my screen so I can quickly go over the assignments again, just really quick. I have had some questions about some of these assignments, and so I want to clarify and just be as clear as I can. So again, the main thing, right? Some of these, like you can, if you end up not submitting an assignment for the week, they can be submitted late. The midterm cannot be submitted late. Everybody has to be ready to go on Monday. If I don't have enough volunteers on Monday, I'm going to call on people. And if you're not ready to go, that's a 0. Right. So I'm like, I want to encourage everybody to focus on this one. So the first thing is to, pick a career, basically pick a career. It can be one that you're already interested in. In fact, that's what I suggest doing. One that you're doing, you're already using for your other assignments, so that you're automatically already doing the research for it, right? If you pick something new that is not part of one of the other assignments, that's fine, but why make your life harder? Right? Why make your life harder? So you can use any of the websites that we already picked that we're using in the other assignment, but if you need more inspiration, there's some on here that will also that might be helpful as well. A few new websites, right? So you can use the Focus 2 career, for example, or this one, the Occupational Outlook, right? So you'd want to do browse occupations. You can look up by major right here, or you can look up by fastest growing, most new jobs, highest paying. It doesn't really matter to me what you're picking, as long as you're going to pick a career, right? Again, these are new websites that are not in the other assignment. You can use them, but you can also just use the website from the other assignment. So, okay, the main things your presentation needs to answer is these 6 questions. What are the responsibilities, right? So basically, what does the job look like? Right? What are the kinds of things that someone in that job, in that career does? What's the environment like? For example, if it's teaching, the environment requires you work with younger people, right? What grade level of kids are you anticipating working with? Are you working with a team? Or does that career involve a lot of individual working on your own? That's what I mean by environment, right? Are you working with a lot of people? Are you working on your own? Does it require a lot of travel? Just kind of the general things about what it might be like to do that job. Educational training requirements, right? So what majors do usually go into that career? Does it matter? For some careers, it won't matter what major you're in. Does it require getting additional training outside of the 4 years of college? When I modeled looking at some of the careers, some of them require like a certification. They might require graduate school, or they might not, right? Maybe they might not. So that's why I'm asking you these questions. salary and benefits, primarily I'm looking for, okay, what's the salary range of what people make in that career, right? For most of us, like, any of these salary ranges for these careers are going to look good, but you want to know, where spectrum of things it falls under. Who's got their mic on? I can mute you, but if you mute yourself.
It's okay.
Hey, who's that? Oh, okay, I see Omar. Okay. I just muted you. Okay. And what attracts you to this job? So remember, you only have 3 to 5 minutes to answer these questions. So the main thing is really to have that information ready, right? So I want to really quickly show you an example of how you would do this, right? So let me find a career. We've already looked at a bunch of them, but let's see, occupational groups over here. A lot of you were in the healthcare, are looking at careers in the healthcare field. So chiropractor, let's pick this one randomly. Okay, let's say I'm going to do a presentation on someone who on the career of chiropractor, right? You do all have to do a PowerPoint for this, right? You should have a PowerPoint for your presentation next week. Right? The trick with PowerPoints, I know you're all familiar with PowerPoints, but some of the common things I notice is students that have like PowerPoints that are too busy, right? If you try to get too busy with like, having graphics and having things, oh, I misspelled chiropractor, having things flying and too much information on the slide, it's not as effective, right? It's just not as effective. In my normal history classes, I keep it super simple. I just have the slide and I usually do a black background. Okay, like you can use any design, any of the default designs in here are fine. Why is in the black? Okay, there we go. I usually just do black. I started doing black because one of my colleagues who's in art history talked about how a black background is actually the best for displaying words and for displaying images. Like the eye just gets that so much better than white or a colorful background. If you do something else, if you want to get really creative and do something like this, or PowerPoint has a lot you can play with. That's totally fine with me. I'm just telling you it's not necessary, right? A simple black background is easy on the eyes and it works, right? So you do want to label it something. If you want, you could do a slide for each question, or you can double up on them and look at, for example, you can do a slide, right, on like what it looks like to be a chiropractor, right? And then what you'd want to do is you'd want to put just some bullet points. I really do suggest you don't write full sentences for your PowerPoint. Omar on the chat is asking how many slides. It doesn't matter. Honestly, you could have one slide and that would be good enough for me. Because what's more important to me is what you're saying, right? What you are presenting to the class, not necessarily what's on the slide. The slide is just a visual aid, right? So by the way, I don't know much about chiropractors, but on this website, I can see on here that most chiropractors work solo or group practice, and a large number are self-employed. So obviously you're going to do a little bit more research, right? Like I would go into work environment here and it has a little bit more information. Most chiropractors work in offices, 74% of them. Yes, I just one job. One of the jobs, like for example, one of the jobs, if you use one of the ones you're using for the job shadowing assignment, right? So In here, I would put maybe solo, office, work, maybe something like management, because I know chiropractors, one of the things that chiropractors do is they do have to manage a staff, because you are basically a small business and you have to manage a staff, right? You just put bullet points. This is where those of you that are a little bit more scared about presenting or a little bit more shy, you put bullet points to help you remember. But if you need a script, right? If you need to be reading something because presenting scares you, then what I recommend is always have your script written out on a 3x5 card, on, just on paper. All of that. We can't tell. If you have your camera off, we won't be able to tell that you're reading, right? Sometimes we can, depending on how you're delivering it, but we won't be able to tell. So you want to keep the slide simple so that people can follow along, but that they're not distracted by what they're looking at the slide, so that they're listening to you, right? Serena, now this is where like you guys can get much more creative. Yeah, Serena, you could use a TikTok or an Instagram video to talk about work environment. Absolutely. Absolutely. Now remember, you only have 3 to 5 minutes, so you don't have time for a long clip. You don't have time for a long clip, but you can absolutely get creative with this, right? And yeah, by the way, a slide like this that just has a title and like 3 bullet points is good enough, but you see all this blank space in the right, I would add an image, I would add something in there, right? To put so that it is more of a visual aid, right? And I like on mine when this pops up, the design ideas, because then I can just like pick something like this and it's basically editing images for me. I like something like this is cool, but then you have to watch out because sometimes some of these signs will make the writing, the actual letters, smaller than they need to be. And you don't want it to be too small. So actually, I kind of don't like most of these, but I can go with this one. Right. And then what I usually do if the words are too small is I go in here and I make them larger. 28, size 28 or 32 font are kind of the ideal for a presentation where they're easy to read. Anything smaller than that, and you've probably noticed in your own classes, when the font is too small on a PowerPoint, it just makes it harder to read. And then you're all like focused on trying to read the slide instead of listening to what the presenter is saying. Right. And so you also want, because this is 3 to 5 minutes, and I will cut you off at 5 minutes. I will cut you off at 5 minutes because I want to make sure we have time to get everybody in to present, right? So you want to time yourself. You want to give yourself some time this weekend to practice it. You don't have to spend a ton of time practicing, but spend some time practicing so that you know, for example, if you're talking too much, or if you need to cut things. Right? If you need to cut things, that's okay. That's okay. Because notice, like I've been talking now for 15 minutes in this class. That's already like, if you're talking this long, it's too much, right? 3 to 5 minutes goes by quickly. So yeah, get creative. You can absolutely be creative with this, but it's also effective and it works to just be simple like this and to the point, right? Let me go back to the prompt real quick. So that's basically the midterm, right? Is to do research on a career, right? Put a PowerPoint together that summarizes the information you found. This is the kind of information you need on your career when you're doing research. Do a PowerPoint and present 3 to 5 minutes. Right. So let me ask you, what questions do you have on the midterm? Does the midterm seem doable?
Yes.
Okay, good. I'm like, it should be. I really don't, I don't want this to be like impossible or too much. This should be something that you can do in the next week, half a week, right? It shouldn't, hopefully the hardest part or the most time consuming part is finding the information you need from the websites and putting it together into a PowerPoint, right? That should be the most time consuming. For you, those of us that are more shy, the hardest part is the actual presentation, right? So if you're really, really scared and you're like, I really do need to see people go first, then that's okay. I'm gonna have probably enough people for that want to go first, that you will get a chance to see at least 3 to 4 people go before I have to call on anybody on Monday, right? Okay, so don't get confused. Oops, let me share my screen so that you guys can see. Don't get confused by a lot of this instructions. This here is meant to give you step-by-steps and make it super easy. Sometimes though, if there's too many instructions, it can get a little confusing. The main thing, remember, is you're researching a career and putting all the information in a PowerPoint so that you're presenting 3 to 5 minutes. That's the summary of this thing, right? I'm not grading you on, like I'm not seeing all the research you're doing. But I do want you to have as many resources as available. That's why the other 2 assignments for the week are the virtual job shadowing and the major explorer. Right? The virtual job shadowing asks you to basically do the research for your midterm. So go to this website, watch 2 videos on 2 different careers. It does have to be 2 different careers, right? Any you want. And briefly, and answer these 3 questions based on 2 careers. 2 careers, right? It's just a short reflection. So there's no like, oh, you have to write 2 pages or there's no minimum. You just write a reflection. I'm mostly interested in, have you done it? Are you doing the research? Because if you do the research here, it'll make the presentation easier. The other assignment though, it's also related. It's about majors, right? And it's about exploring what people can do with the major that you have right now, and a major that you might be interested in, or one that you're totally not interested in, but because I'm making you research 2 majors, you're doing. Right? The purpose, by the way, of making you do 2 majors is that, one, it helps those of you that are undecided, right? And for those of you that have already decided, it just gives you a sense of what else is out there, right? Because sometimes what happens is that you've decided, you're all set, you're on track. But next year you might decide, actually, never mind, I've changed my mind and I kind of hate this major. And then you're stuck at a point of where, what do I do now? I hate my major. This is all I wanted my whole young life. So what do I do now? Well, if that happens to you, hopefully you'll remember that we did this assignment in NSS, and that you already know how to research majors and how to connect that to a career. Yeah, that's okay. I saw your message. This one's a little bit of a longer write-up. I do want you to write a 2 to 3 page reflection that answers these 5 questions for each major, right? So so think of it as a minimum of 2 pages. And in those 2 pages of reflections, you answer these questions for both majors. So you're not writing 2 different reflections. It's just one reflection that covers both majors, right? Now, really quickly, I tried to do this quickly so that I give you some time for questions, and so we can talk about some of this. The website where you find the information for all the majors is calstatela.edu/NSS. Those are the majors in the NSS kind of school, in the College of Natural and Social Sciences. If you're interested in a different major, that's okay. You can do a different major, but we're primarily interested in making sure you know all the majors that are under the College of Natural and Social Sciences umbrella, right? But you can look up other majors. You'd have to probably go to academics and explore majors and programs, right? The school does try to make some of these interesting. So here you have a list of all the majors available at Cal State LA. So you can see, like, let me click on one that's, I know it's not going to be in the NSS umbrella. So for example, French. Right, you can major or minor in French here. It is not housed under the College of Natural and Social Sciences. So this would force you to go to a different website. So let's see, this just tells you the GE requirements. And I want to go to see, this is in the catalog. So I'm going to Google it. I'm going to Google Cal State LA French major. All right. By the way, I want to show you really quickly what my thought process was on which link I clicked on. I didn't click on these first two because this is just going to send me to the e-catalog, right? To the catalog, which is essentially the same thing that popped up in the other website I was looking at. So I don't want the e-catalog. What I want is the department website. And so this one, calstatela.edu, and it tells me that it's going to take me to the department. That's why I clicked on this one and not any of the other links. So French, for the French major or minor, it's under the Department of Modern Languages. So we don't have a Department of French. We have a Department of Modern Languages and Literature. Right. So if you wanted something like this, you can see that we offer Chinese, French, Japanese, Korean, and Spanish, and they're all under the language program heading. Right. If you had declared something like this as a major, you would be in the College of Arts and Letters, not in the College of Natural and Social Sciences. Right. So like here are the departments that are housed under the Department of the Department College of Arts and Letters. They have the art, communication studies, English, philosophy, television, film and media, theater and dance, liberal studies, all of these. So if you're interested in a different major, you're not going to find them in the NSS website. You're going to have to find them in under a different umbrella. But they are there, and you can answer the assignment based on a different college. Right. I know there was at least one of you that was interested in television, film, and media studies. So anybody looking to go into like any career under film and media, you would probably want to look into this major. If you wanted to switch just to a major that's not in NSS, you do have to go to a different office, find a different form, and fill out a form that you would then submit to the College of Arts and Letters. Right? This is why some of this is really important that you at least know about it, so that you know that, okay, you have to go to a different office, not the NSS office, to switch a major. Okay. Quick recap then. You have to do a reflection on two careers for the virtual job shadowing. I don't care how long your reflection is for the virtual job shadowing. For the major explorer, though, you have to do a minimum of 2 pages exploring 2 majors. All of that is supposed to help you put your midterm together, where the midterm is just one career and you are presenting the information you have found on that one career. questions now? Nothing yet. Okay, they might pop up. On Monday or Wednesday, whenever you're presenting, what we're going to do is we're going to come to, Harpreet is making an excellent question. The library presentation assignment, I'm going to move. I just haven't moved it yet because I haven't decided which week we're going to do. I'm going to move it to, but I'm going to move it. Don't worry about the library presentation. Yeah, they're supposed to have library workshops for all of us in NSS this week. None of the workshops that they were having though were during our class time, and I'm not going to make you do something, do one outside of class. It just doesn't work, I've noticed. So I'm just going to move it so that I can arrange things with them. Okay. Some logistic stuff. On Monday or Wednesday, whenever you present, you're going to come on the Zoom, and then do you all know how to share your screen? The button, I just changed the settings on our Zoom so that you all can share your screen. Normally you can't. I don't give you the button to be able to share your screen. But who wants to try it? Who'd like to really quickly share the screen and just try it and see if you can do it? I know a lot of you know how to do it, but who wants to try it? Oh, I know some of you can do it. Do I need to pick someone? Just really quick, I just need you to just quickly share your screen. I don't care what's on.
I can do it.
Okay, thank you, Hazel. All right, do it real quick for us. You just have to spend a second there and then you can unshare.
Okay.
Aha, perfect. And then click on the top to go back to unshare your screen. Yeah, perfect. Okay, thank you. Harpreet, do you want to do it real quick too? It'd be cool to get a couple of, no. Okay, it's fine. I just wanted to give you a practice. Now, if you want to practice some of the Zoom stuff, you can. You all have access to Zoom through the school, right? Like I know a lot of you just click on the links we send you, and you don't go on it on your own, but you should all have access to the Zoom feature on its own. What you do, let me open up a new window, is you go to your My Cal portal. I've already, I favorited the apps I use the most from our school, but this is how it looks with all of them. So you just have to go in and find the Zoom link, and it should take you, you all have access to your own kind of Zoom account through Cal State LA. Okay, so you can you should be able to schedule a Zoom meeting where you can practice. Right? If you want to practice sharing and unsharing your screen, you should be able to do that by going here. Right? If somebody ends up trying it and it doesn't work for you, let me know, because I can always create a Zoom meeting for you all to use and practice on that. I'm not going to, I won't go on. I'll just let you use it on your own. But that's one tip for people who want to be super prepared for it, is just to do that. Right? Is to go on here and practice a little bit. And the other thing is, grab a sibling or grab a cousin, grab a parent, and you're like, I don't need you to do anything. I just need you to listen to me. So sit there and listen to me practice my 3 to 5 minute presentation, time me, and maybe tell me if I'm going too fast, if I'm going too slow. Something like that is very useful. I used to use my sister all the time. I had completely forgotten actually that how much I used her to help me with things. And the other day she was reminding me. Okay, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put you in groups. I'm going to put you in groups of 3 to 4 of you, and I want you to just share a couple of things. One, share what career you want to present on. If you don't know, then just share which ones you're thinking about. Right, that's sometimes just useful. And then share what your plan is to prepare for the presentation. So I'm going to give you like 5-7 minutes in your groups to chat about that, so you can all encourage each other, and then we'll come back, and I think that should be it for today. The main concern for me was preparing you or giving you all the information you need so you can complete these assignments. Right? The midterm especially, that one's kind of the bigger deal. So let me put you into groups. So it's these breakout rooms. Hold on a second. I probably need 7 of them. Okay, so you're gonna get a message saying to go to the breakout room, and you can click on it and go to it now. Okay, now. Oh, Kiara, I think you just came in, so I need to assign you a room. All right. Anybody else need a room? Is it not popping up? So Jasmine, Alyssa, and Kiara, is it not popping up for you guys? Two.
I was already in another room, but it took me out. So I guess, do I join the second one?
Yes, join the second one. I don't know why it took you out, but yeah, you can join the next list. Harpreet, did it kick you out?
No, sorry. I just didn't know whether we were supposed to stay in there or were we supposed to wait for you to tell us to leave?
Oh, so either way it works actually, but I'm like, I will tell everybody to leave in a minute, but you guys, we just had 2 people, so it's totally fine. So Harpreet and Jenny, do you already know what you're going to present on, what career?
Yeah, we talked about it.
Yeah, would you mind sharing with me since I've got you here?
So wait, you said we share like what we're gonna talk about, and then what was the second thing we were supposed to share?
Oh geez, I don't even remember now. How you're planning on putting the presentation together.
Oh, okay. So I said law, like I'm not sure like what specifically, like maybe a lawyer or something like that. I don't know, but law. And then I think I'm gonna split it like into 2 slides. So one slide has the salary and all that kind of like informational stuff. And then the second is like, if like one of the questions is like why we want to do it, then that's what my second slide will be.
Okay, perfect. And it is. So that sounds like exactly what I'm looking for.
Okay, cool.
Yanis, do you know what career you're gonna present on?
Yes. I was thinking of planning of doing it in therapist,
Okay.
and yeah, and I was planning to do similar to how you were displaying it or teaching us how to do it, and I was planning to do the same, similar.
Okay, perfect. That's exactly what I want to hear. I just want to make sure that everybody has a plan. So let me close the rooms for everybody else too. We don't want to let them talk. Well, no, actually, let me give them 1 minute because you guys only had 2 people, but some of them had more people in their groups. So I want to make sure I give everybody enough time to talk to each other. But perfect. If you guys are done, then you just hold on for a minute while we give them that time. By the way, I'm like obsessed with my Halloween mugs. I've been bringing them all out and having too much fun using them. Right, this one I got last year. I really wanted a cute like ghost one. This one's not my favorite, but I thought it was still kind of cute.
Do you get them from like Target or like where? Because I'm thinking like Home Goods or something like that.
Most of them I go to Home Goods for. Yeah, this one though, I got it from, actually, let me check. Yeah, Pottery Barn. They're expensive at Pottery Barn and like Pier 1. So what I do is I wait till, unless I really want a mug, if there's one really cute one, I snatch it up. But I will sometimes wait till, like Halloween day or the day before when they go on sale. And that's when I try to snap them up. So that's why I was like, they had a cuter ghost one, but they were already sold out of it by the time I tried to purchase it. Let me.
That's smart. Waiting till like the day of. That's smart.
Yeah, because I'm like, otherwise, some of these like holiday mugs can be a lot of money. And you don't want to spend too much on a mug.
Yeah, I didn't realize people like I don't know about every day, but like once a week when Ross and Marshall's like restock, people like line up for that stuff. Like it's crazy.
Oh no, yeah, I was at Home Goods. I don't have a Home Goods near me, so I just like I made a trip down to the Home Goods. It's not that far from me, but I went to it and I was chatting with the lady at the checkout, and she was telling me like some people come in here every day, and I was like, really? I'm like, who has time? But people do. People do, and I've noticed some people like make a business out of it. They'll go buy some of the limited stuff.
Yeah, and resell it. I just found out about that too. And I think it's because like some of the stuff they sell is like discounted. There's like that one expensive store that sells like home stuff. I can't remember the name, but like I think it's like discounted from those stores. So I guess that's why people resell it.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm like, and some people have been very smart about making a business. Okay, sorry, Harpreet and I were chatting about Home Goods and things. But all right, I've let you all chat with each other. So do you all have a better sense of what you need to do for your midterm?
Yeah, kinda.
Okay, so what I will do, I will still be here on Friday. So again, I think from now on, I'm not going to make you come on any Friday, so we can put that on our schedules. But I will still be here this Friday, especially for anybody that wants to work one-on-one with me. I'm happy to help you like look for information, or like if you have PowerPoint slides you want to show me, or if you want to practice your presentation, I will be here Friday and we can do pretty much anything on Friday if you want to. If not, then that's okay. I know some of you are like, okay, if you're feeling comfortable with the assignment, you know what you need to do, then you don't need me. You just need to actually do it. Right. So, and that's totally fine. That's totally fine. I'm also make sure that I have this recording up later today, so that if you need to come back and reference something I said or something I showed, that you can. Don't forget that you can do that. You can come back and watch the recordings. Let's see, anything else I'm forgetting? Emailing me with a question, I'd rather, like, even if it feels dumb, please email it to me. I love when you guys will ask that question, because that's how I also knew today, by the way, to go over some of these stuff again, because I'd gotten a few questions over email. And so it told me, right, that the directions were not as clear as they could be. And that's something that I can fix on my end. Like, I can fix that and be more clear. Yeah, I'm like this. The midterm is the bigger thing. So if you are, I always tell people, if you're pressed for time, if you have to cut stuff from your to-do, you cannot cut the midterm. Other stuff you can cut and maybe, submit late, but the midterm you don't want to do because it's a presentation. So you want to be ready to go that day. For anybody with internet issues, you just want to, like, if the day you're presenting, your internet is just not working. If it's Monday, it's okay. Because we still have Wednesday and Friday for you to present on. But if it's Friday, if it's the last day you can possibly present, and you have internet issues that day, then what you want to do is just message me, and we can come up. I have a backup plan for if that happens. But don't think it's going to get you out of presenting. It's not going to get you out of presenting. You still have to do the presentation. Let's see what else. So actually, for some of you, I really do encourage you that you go Monday, get it out of the way, and then the rest of the week you can just relax and watch your classmates be the ones that worry. So I know I already have one volunteer for Monday. Do I have any other volunteer that knows they want to go on Monday?
Me, please.
Hazel, anybody else?
I'm gonna say me.
Good. I'm
But,
smart.
Okay, you can jot me down.
Wait, who was that? Oh, Kiara. Okay. All right. Anybody else?
You can put my name down as well. I don't know if you saw my name in the chat.
Oh, I did. Oh, and then actually, yes. And I see Francisco also said it. Thank you. I forgot to look at the chat. 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 6 people that want to go on Monday. Anyone else? Anthony. Okay. Perfect. Okay. I think that should be enough on Monday, but let me do the math. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 times 5 is 30. Oh, well, so depending on how much time we have in between people, I think another 2 people will be able to go on Monday. So if I don't have volunteers, I'll wait and hold those 2 spots you can email me and if you decide you do want to go on Monday for sure. Or on Monday, what I'll do is if I don't have volunteers, then I'll just go through my list and randomly pick people to do that. We mostly, honestly, my goal with that is if we can fit everybody to present on Monday and Wednesday, then we don't have to meet up on Friday. Right? If we don't get everybody in on Monday and Wednesday, then we do all have to meet on Friday so the last people can present. Yes, Anthony, there's a 5 minutes. So it should be the minimum of 3 minutes, but a maximum of 5 minutes. And I will cut you off at 5 minutes because I want to make sure we get everybody in. Yeah. So that's a good question. Other questions?
Are we like numbered? Did you make it into a list to know when we're going, or is it just random?
I did not make it into a list to see when you were going, but that day, so on Monday, I will, usually those of you that are presenting can log on a little bit early, and then I can let you pick if you want to go first on Monday or if you want to be like the last in the group to go.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, because I'm like, I want to see first. So on that day, that morning, we can decide what the order is. Yeah, because deciding on the order does make it flow a little bit easier. That way there's not a lot of lag time in between presenters. But we can wait till that date to set the order. Unless it really
Okay.
matters to you. I'm like, if it really matters to you that you are the very first one, then you can tell me now.
Oh no, I'm okay. I was just like asking.
No, that's a good question. Okay.